Alrighty, welcome back to another Demon Rush video, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have the draft pages for Demon Rush Manga Chapter 9. So as I explained in the last time, I'd like to start doing this more often, give you guys the draft pages to kind of see what's coming next. What you're looking at the screen right here is Lucifer, so this is a concept for the cover of Chapter 9. And by the way, once we finish Chapter 9, Volume 3 will be complete, and I can start going into production. So before I get into the rest of the pages here to show you guys, have a couple brief announcements. First of all, in 2 or 3 days, I will have the next set of the Demon Rush trading card game beta prototype in my hands, and it's because there was a couple errors the first go around, so had to make sure that those are correct. They're sending me a new sample, and once I confirm that it's good, we'll go ahead and put in the big order for 50,000 beta Demon Rush packs. Insanely excited about all this coming through because we're gonna have tournaments and esports and everybody's waiting for more cards. So we should have them probably something like 40 days from now. So something like the end of August is probably what we're heading for the major launch. The major launch, which will have anime of Volume 2 and some future events. It will have some really cool stuff in there, some big reveals, and we're gonna have 3. So currently right now we only have 2 Demon Rush volumes, and we're gonna have a 3rd one coming once Chapter 9 is complete. So for these last few months, I have just been grinding like crazy on the animation. I wanna make sure that I have something really fun, interesting and exciting for you guys. So just be sure that you watch the premiere of the beta world launch of Demon Rush. It's gonna be some cool anime stuff in there and some other big announcements as well. And as always, guys, we get together just about every night to hop on the Demon Rush Discord, hang out and play with each other and talk and have a good time. If that's something you're interested in, there is a link for the Demon Rush Discord in the description. Feel free to sign up, hop in, and say hello to everybody. It's a Discord for Demon Rush fans, and that alone, pretty much. So if you're a fan of Demon Rush, you want to talk theory, you want to play the card game, you want to do fan art, anything like that, we have a great community on Discord. Come join us. Without further ado, let's jump into these pages. So as we saw in Chapter 8, Rush had this crazy battle to the death with this big demon. He was able to defeat it, and that's when Karner took him to the first floor of hell, which you're seeing on the screen right now, because Lucifer, the Dark Lord, is going to give a speech. It's a very big deal that they just captured Michael, and Lucifer's pretty much going to explain why and what this means for the war against good. Now pay attention to this giant chalice here in the picture because it's going to come into play in the next page. So here we go with the first page of the draft pages, and you can see here that people are being whipped and flung into this giant chalice, which appears to be full of like hot boiling blood. And as people are whipped and forced into this chalice, they just pretty much slide in and melt down to the bone. And we see who are the slave masters, who is doing this, who is pushing all these humans into it. Since this is the first floor lust of hell, it is a bunch of succubuses. Succubi. I've had a lot of people asking questions about where are all the females, bro. Well, here you get one, and I promise there will be more. Yeah, I haven't had enough really female characters, enough diversity really in the cast yet, but it's still very early, and the main reasoning for that is that I'm just trying to do all the world building and establish the world before I start introducing these characters, which will be coming pretty soon, but I do want to fill up the cast quite a bit. So yes, sexy Amazon succubus woman, she sees Rush and she's like, damn, I want to take a bite out of him. Now we see this other wizard guy who is basically up on a platform. He has these 2 pillars of fire next to him, and he is chanting some dark spells. And you're gonna find out who this guy is and what exactly he's doing in the chapter. I won't spoil that for you guys, but we'll just say that he is extremely powerful. And here you see Karner, who's watching with Rush. He's kind of explaining to Rush what's going on, who is this guy, what is he doing, etc. And that's when we see this wizard. This portal starts to open in front of him. A massive, massive, monstrous-sized dark portal opens in front of this wizard. And you're starting to wonder, well, what is this guy doing? Was he summoning someone or something? What is actually happening? And that's when you see these Titanic-sized claws start to pierce through the portal's energy, reaching towards that giant chalice. Who could it be? I'll give you a guess. They're on the cover. So yes, I've spoken about this before, this is a very important chapter because we're going to finally see Lucifer and learn of his personality. So it's pretty obvious here that Rush is being rushed in, no pun intended, to kind of the hierarchy of hell. As we can see even from these first draft pages, most regular humans and sinful humans that come to hell just simply get sacrificed. But Rush, he has already, it appears he has a master, he's able to see Lucifer. I mean, he's laying mortal eyes on Lucifer's true form himself, and Rush is only 18 years old without much experience or anything like that, so this is a pretty big deal. He's kind of getting into the upper echelons of hell already, even though he's like a nobody. He's actually pretty lucky, it appears, that he has Karner kind of taking him under his wing at this moment. And as we know in the last chapter, when Rush was able to defeat Jarkul, Karner said that he may be the one. Rush may be the one of what? So, peculiar question, but he's obviously being trained and indoctrinated in the ways of evil, the hierarchy of hell, and combat, fighting to the death just in order to get stronger. Now, currently, right now, if you remember chapter 6, Soren has embarked on his training for the holy side with his new master, Oz. So both pupils have been recruited to opposite sides. They're trying to learn the ways of each side. So not only is this going to be a battle for survival, but it's also the speed in which they can increase their strength through combat. So as we've learned in Demon Rush so far, what we know of, the way to increase your strength is to kill others and absorb their Imperium. Rush has done a lot more of that than Soren. In fact, Soren hasn't done any yet in the story. So you should be wondering during this chapter, Rush is already getting OP and he's already getting introduced to Lucifer. How is Soren going to compete? So I just want to say as I wrap this up, I know the story is going a little bit slow at the moment, especially like one thing that's bothering me as the writer is I need to give more personalities to both Rush and Soren and get people really hooked on their characters. So most people still don't really understand who is the main character, Soren or Rush. The main character is both, and I hope you could figure that out by now. Yes, one's a protagonist, one's an antagonist, but you could very well, and hopefully so, be rooting for the bad guy, which is Rush, or so you're led to believe. But the idea is there's two factions, Holy and Evil, well, I guess three with neutral, and Holy and Evil each have a main character, and it's up to you, the audience, to choose which side you prefer. This whole series is about choices, and even you as the audience can make that choice. Do you prefer Soren and the holy side or Rush and the evil side? Let me know your comments below, and I will see you guys soon for Chapter 9, the beta release, the anime, and all sorts of good new juicy stuff, guys. It is coming soon. I know it's been a while, but I have been building and building and building leading up to the second launch, so you guys are in for a treat. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one.